Now, obviously, you had one of the best college basketball players on your roster this year with Iowa, actually, the past 3 years, in Luka Garza. Now, he has a decision coming up whether to stay in the NBA draft or to come back to school. Have you had any conversations with him, or just what advice in general do you have for him?
Yeah, coincidentally, we just spoke today about his
Oh, wow.
Oh
situation.
wow.
You know, yeah. We are our guys came back on campus last Monday, and so they are involved with voluntary training, strength and conditioning, and they do have open gym where they get in and play some pickup games. But what Luca first and foremost is a terrific human being, and he's an outstanding basketball player, as you very well know. I think he won like 5 or 6 Player of the Year awards this past
Yeah.
season. And he has a chance to come back for his senior year. A team that I think we've been picked to finish top 5 in the country, preseason top 5. So he's got some decisions to make. He is in the process of talking with a few NBA teams. I think this virus and has put a kind of a damper on all of that. He has not had an opportunity to go and to any workouts, if you will. So everything he's been doing with some NBA teams, I would think it'd be about a half a dozen or maybe even more. He's been doing the Zoom calls, and I'm sure he's going to do well in those situations. But he has until I want to say sometime in August before he has to make up his mind as to whether he's going to keep his name in the NBA draft. And more power to him. The young man has done great here. We'd love to have him come back, but if he has an opportunity, first and foremost, to be able to be drafted in the first round or high, maybe second round, then I think it's hard for him to turn that down. I think what would have to happen, I think he's got to assess whether he's going to get some guaranteed money. But I still think that's way down the road with him. I'm just guessing. I'm speculating right now, knowing the young man the way I know him and knowing his father. I think he's probably leaning towards coming back to school. And that's just me with saying that. He has not indicated that to this
Right.
coaching staff. And I've talked to a few NBA folks about him. And obviously, a young man that has the ability to score the way he has, he had, I think it was 25 games where he scored 20 or more points during the season. And he's doing that against Big Ten competition. And, the Big Ten arguably is one of the toughest conferences in America.
Absolutely.
So he has a chance. He has size. He's 6'10", has the girth. I think the thing that helps him out and what makes him an elite player is, in fact, he's so crafty. And then secondly, he has an unbelievable work ethic. I've never coached a young man. Maybe Buck Williams comes close at the University of Maryland. But this young man, Luka Garza, is just, he's a machine in the weight room and all-season workouts, conditioning, and that's paid big dividends for him. And it came out this year and had a phenomenal year for us. And if he comes back, he could probably be Player of the Year on a national level.
I like it.
Yeah, for sure. How do you think, you obviously mentioned some stuff there. How do you think just overall his game would translate to the NBA? Like if he does come back, is there anything you think he could work on, or just what do you think he does right now that would translate really well?
The number one thing is he's a 6'10", kind of stretch 5.
Yeah.
Can knock down a 3. Didn't shoot it great this year, but he will be an outstanding 3-point shooter. And his ability, as I talked about, the work ethic, how he will fight for position. And I think he's a good inside-outside player, fundamentally sound in every aspect, very efficient, knows how to use either right or left hand. Very good footwork, sort of like a Hakeem Olajuwon in that regard. Up and under moves, step through moves, counter moves. And again, I think he could score at that level. A lot depends, I've seen a lot of college players go on to the NBA, and it depends on the system that team is running, whether he could fit in. But I think there's no doubt in my mind that he's capable, skill-wise, to play at that level.
Yeah, I definitely
can he run
noticed
the
that with
floor?
the
Yes,
post
he
moves.
can run. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I definitely noticed that with the post moves, everything you were saying. Like he's got some moves down low for sure. And then you add that if you add that ability to hit the 3, like you mentioned, and just continue to get better at that with where the NBA is going right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In the NBA, obviously, one big thing for bigs, so 4 and 5 minutes to be able to guard ball screen defense, and can he hedge or show flat and be able to get back to his guy when the guy rolls? He'll have to continue to work on that. He did well for us this year. We were very good defensively this year, and he was able to guard. We got away from hard hedging or heavy hedging. We just showed flat, and he was able to go 2 steps with that guard, prevent that guard from turning the corner and getting downhill. And then he was able to retreat and get back to the front of the low post on his guy, and did a very good job of that. And he's one. I tell you, another thing that helps kids make the next jump is having cerebral qualities, being able to understand the game and think the game. And he's a big student of the game. And I think that's going to bode well for him down the road.